Hello, everyone. So tonight we are doing a sneak peek into the Ageless Tresses course. So you remember, Ageless Tresses is all about navigating hair health through menopause and then beyond. And what I hear so often from my customers is they may have figured out natural hair before menopause, but as they started moving through that process, all the things that they thought they had figured out are just not quite the case anymore. And so they're having a struggle all over again. Hence the creation of the Ageless Tresses course. It is to help my customers that are having those challenges, that difficulty in navigating the fluctuating hormones associated with menopause. And the first step in the Ageless Tresses course is the hair self-assessment. So this is where you respond based on 12 key items that affect your hair during the menopause process, whether it's perimenopause or postmenopause. As those hormones are fluctuating, these are the 12 items that are most commonly associated with your hair in menopause. And so you may not be experiencing all of them to the full effect, which is great, or you may only be experiencing a few of them. But regardless of how much you are experiencing or being impacted by it, we can devise a custom plan that's going to help you turn this around, that's going to help you bring back the moisture, the vitality into your curls. We can do that for you with our custom solutions, but getting your input, that self-assessment is how we get started. So what I'm going to do this evening is give you a sense of the items, of the types of items that we're going to ask you. And then you have one of 5 responses that you can come back with. And it ranges from it's a 1 in your life, meaning it's not even really impacting you, all the way up to it's a 5 and it's affecting your quality of life. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, those are the range of possibilities as to how this particular item is impacting you. So let's get started with that sneak peek. We're going to step through the self-assessment. And again, I'll give you a feel for what the items are, what the responses can be. And we're just going to pick some based on what I so commonly hear from my customers. But I think you'll enjoy this. And again, it's very quick and easy. It is not painful at all. I promise. All right. So the first item, hair loss due to different causes. It could be alopecia, it could be hormonal fluctuation, menopausal changes, or just inflammation in general. Or you may not even know what's causing the hair loss. You just know you're experiencing hair loss. So all of that is captured. And so again, this is where you have the 5 options to pick on the self-assessment. Is it a 1, which is not a struggle at all? Is it a 2, somewhat of a struggle? Is it a 3? This is a struggle. 4, it's a significant struggle. And 5, it's affecting the quality of my life. It is just that bad. It's affecting the quality of my life. And so, again, I'm going to pick these based on what I most often hear. And hair loss is exceptionally common. So I'm going to put this one as a 5, that it is affecting the quality of life. And boom, you're already done with the first item, and it's just 11 to go. So again, this is a fairly painless way for you to give me an indication of what you're experiencing right now, so that the outcome is you have a custom plan for turning this around, for bringing your curls back, bringing the vitality of your curls back. So we can do that once we know where you are. So the next item is thinning hair and widening parts. So it could be the crown, it could be the front, it could be all over. And so is this affecting your quality of life? Is it just that bad? Or maybe not so much. It's kind of middle of the road struggle. What I most often hear is affecting the quality of life. So I'm going to pick a 5 for this item as well. Now, low or no elasticity. So this is talking about your hair generally when wet. Does your hair tend to snap back into place, or does it just break off? Because elasticity is an indication of hair health. And if it's just snapping off and breaking, that's a problem. So let's put this one as being not a struggle at all. So we'll just pick that one. Next up is slow or no hair growth. Now, the average growth rate is about a 1/2 inch a month, which works out to be about 6 inches a year. So if you're not seeing anywhere close to that, then that's saying that either something is affecting your growth or you're experiencing breakage at about the same rate as your growth. So Maybe we'll go middle of the road on this and we'll put a 3 that this is a struggle, but it's not as bad as the hair loss and then the thinning is for you. Next item, excessive hair shedding, and normal shedding is about 50 to 100 hairs a day. That is a day. 50 to 100 hairs a day is normal shedding. And you're seeing substantially more than this. What I always encourage my customers to do is to take a quick picture of all their shed hair. So on the days that they wash their hair, to use a shower trap to catch that hair there and then accumulate from the detangling comb, detangling brush, however you're choosing to detangle, to accumulate all of that hair and take a quick picture of it with your cell phone. This gives you a time and date stamp record of how much shed hair was involved in that particular wash day. But more importantly, it's unemotional, it's factual. You can look at it on your phone. You can look at it once a month and do some comparisons from today and then 30 days from now, or maybe once a quarter. But it gives you an idea of what's going on. And so we will put excessive hair shedding. Let's just put a 4 for this one. It is significant struggle. It's not the top one where we're saying it's affecting our quality of life. Next up, hair texture changes, becoming more coarse and wiry than usual. This one is not a fairly common one, so I will pick a 1 for this one. Not a struggle at all. Now, next up, new hair growth appears noticeably different in texture, either straighter or curlier than existing hair. And so this means that the actual texture of your hair has changed. So where it was curlier, it's straight, or maybe it was straight, now it's a bit curlier, or maybe it was wavier. This is not a high one as far as the frequency that it happens is fairly small. So we're going to put a 1 for this one as well, that this is just not a struggle at all. It's just smooth sailing right through that particular item. Noticeable and sudden increase in the amount of gray hair. Generally, it's a transition. You start seeing some hairs and then they bring some visitors. And then it just kind of expands from there. But it's not like an overnight and traumatic shock in the amount of gray hair that happened. So we'll pick a 1 for this one as well. That is not a struggle. We're doing good. And you know what? We're almost done with the hair self-assessment. So you can get an idea of just how quick and painless and easy this is. But it gives us such a wealth of information to work with when we're coming up with your custom plan for turning your hair struggles around, for moving beyond the hair loss, the hair thinning, that dryness, the aging curls, moving beyond that. But this is critical information that we need to know so that we know that the custom solution we have for you is going to make a meaningful difference. Next up, persistent dryness of both hair and scalp. You know what? Let's go with a 4 for this one. We'll say it's a significant struggle, but it's not one that's just taking over our life. All right. Next up, scalp irritation and inflammation, including visible signs of redness or discomfort on the scalp. This is another one that is not exceptionally common. It is the exception, I will say. So we will put is not a struggle at all for that particular item. Now, we're already down to the last 2 items. So changes in sense of smell, taste, and saliva production leading to shifts in food and beverage preferences. And you're probably thinking, wait a minute, I thought we were talking about hair. But you know what? The sense of taste and smell, they go hand in hand. And a high score here can be an indication that maybe you're starting to have some problems with products you've traditionally used. So if this has been happening to you where, gosh, I used to love this and now not so much, or I didn't really like this, but now it's working for me, then that's an indication. So what we'll do, we'll put just a 2 here, is somewhat of a struggle. It's not a stranglehold, but it's somewhat of a struggle. Now we're going to go to the last item, and now this will help you to better understand why I just asked you about the change in the sense of smell, taste, and then your saliva production. And that's fragrance personal care products or fragrances worn or used by others are causing a noticeable discomfort or illness. So maybe you've been into fragrances all along and you've loved them and is, more fragrance the merrier. And now you're finding that you don't feel so good when you're around fragrances, or maybe it's the louder fragrances. The ones that stay present for much longer time period are the ones that you're kind of shying away from. And so often it's like a night and day change. It comes in, you love fragrances, and then you're in this gray area where I'm thinking I'm not feeling so good again after I just used this, so maybe I should stop using it. And then you're kind of crossing out onto the other side. But the sense of smell and taste go hand in hand, which is why I asked the previous question. So let's put for this one, let's put a 4, because the more ladies that I work with, the more are telling me that as they move through, things that they used to love the smell of are now causing them some type of discomfort or a feeling of being sick. It could be headaches, it could be nausea, it could just be fatigue. Like, gosh, I thought I was okay to go do this, and now I'm not feeling the same level of energy that I had before when I was getting started. So, this has been a quick deep dive into the Ageless Tresses course. So right now, the cost of the course is about 60% off, where you can do this for $49. So again, once you purchase the course, we start with the hair self-assessment. And you can do that one on your own and then bring it to the course, or we can do it together, once we're at the course, and could give you some better insight into what's going on here, why the types of things matter, why those questions are important. But again, this is the sneak peek into the Ageless Tresses course and the value it can bring to you, to your hair care struggles, so that we can move you beyond that hair loss, that thinning, the dryness, the aging curls, and get you the curls that you really want, the curls that you really want to get outside and flaunt and just show off. But thanks so much for dropping in this evening, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the course, and the links will be included. Everything you need to know about the course will be included in the notes below. Thanks.